After having burnout and not being able to do any more research, not being able to sit here and tell you any more about it because I couldn't handle it no more, after missing a podcast for the first time last week, today I'm here to talk about my small period of burnout and how I managed to always come back from these difficult situations. Let me tell you something. It is the end of July. It's around 30 degrees every day with 70% humidity here in Spain. I've been daily studying French for the past month, plus working more than 9 hours a day, which end up with something like this. And by this, I mean no time whatsoever. So now I want you to see first-handed and listen to me what I do to actually disconnect from all of this crazy fast life that I've been getting into the past weeks and a month. So sit down, put on your seatbelt, and get ready for a zigzagging journey towards epiphany. To all of you out there that are probably listening to me right now and cannot see, it is around 11 o'clock in the night. Normally, I do podcasts early in the morning, midday, to say so, on a Friday or in a Saturday morning. And I do that because it's the time where I can prepare, sit down, and experience it. But this is the end of July, and honestly, it is hot as crazy. The humidity and how much you can sweat, it's unbelievable. Right now, I have no AC on because of the noise. I'm sitting here, actually it's a cold night with some air and fresh wind coming through the window, but still I'm sweating because I have lights, I have the camera pointed at me, I have to put a shirt that looks decently, and overall I had to build this setup. This pressure of heat and all the inconveniences that comes per with recording a podcast, not being annoying to the roommates, made it harder to be able to record and actually put me on a bit of demotivation. If you combine this to 6 months of non-stop recording, trying to find topics and having or working 9 hours a day in a business world, in sales, uh, escalating the amount of work and the amount of pressure I had in work these past weeks, plus more work on the same topic, which is business, the last month actually killed me. And killed me in a way that I really didn't see any point of making more of the same topic, making more of those shorts that are just extract from the podcast that has literally no soul. And I've been going around, what can I do, what can I not, how is this possible, and can I actually change anything in the way I do this? Because I actually want to keep doing this. And I thought to myself, what I'm doing right now is a copycat of what it's out there, of really professional people with ton of experience that just sit here and are able to talk about profound topics, super comprehensive. But I cannot do that because I don't know how to even talk properly. So how can I actually have the face of sitting here and pretend I'm something that I'm not? And on the other hand, I'm not that into business yet. I just started. So I'm trying to give the image of a super professional guy while I'm starting, and I'm forgetting a lot of the fun that is making these kind of things. So for these few weeks before we end up season 1 and I go on holiday, I wanted to start trying what will be the next steps for season 2 of Commonsense and the new approach that I'm going to try to have. I always try to change things, so this is one more. And what I thought is, well, I love making podcasts. I try to make them way more professional than they actually are. But what do I like to do? I like to talk, but I love to play, and I love to do other things. I love to study, but I always have in my mind some words and some ideas that needs to flow. And this time I said, I why don't I take a topic that has happened to me recently, like burnout, and especially on this content creation, which is tough, and I do what I love, which is playing video games. And I said to myself, well, this is what I've been doing for the past
weeks, which is for just those 15 minutes, 20 minutes that I have every single day, I sat down and I played. And I did something that I couldn't not do during my day to day. Because my routines for the past 4 weeks has been waking at 7 a.m., going to work, finish about 5:30, 6, coming home, drinking something, eating something really, really fast, and going to Friends Academy from 7 to 8:30, and then from there go directly to the gym and come back home around 10. So if you count the hours, it's more like 12, it's like 15 hours of non-stop. And when you are on that track, your brain really get fried, and the fatigue that you experience is crazy. So I really have no energy to do any content creation, and it is so fucking hot that the only thing I wanted to do was lay on bed and die. And I call this an amoeba because literally the amoebas, if you saw them on a microscope, are literally on the plate that you see through. And it was a couple of days ago when I thought, okay, I missed 1 week, but I love doing this, so I'm not gonna miss more because I really love it. So I'm gonna have to adapt it to something that's way more relaxed, that I enjoy way more, and that you can take something out of it, and that for me it's a little bit more forgiving. So what I'm actually doing right now is getting over my burnout by playing video games, by playing a gacha game on my laptop, just like I do every single night before going to bed. But this time, instead of having my thoughts going around, talking to myself, I just put the camera and I'm talking to you. This is what I'm gonna be starting to do way more. Talk to you while I do normal things. Now I'm playing video games. The next podcast will be why I study French, and we'll talk about French, or we'll talk about something that maybe is super funny and that maybe gets me more hooked into this journey. And that's gonna be it. And for season 2, it will be more of the same thing. I will sit down and properly talk when I can or want, but when I'm not, I'll maybe do a podcast cleaning, I'll maybe do a podcast organizing, I'll maybe do a podcast preparing the outfits for the next week. I maybe do a podcast preparing dinners and lunch for the next week. I'm going to be doing this kind of podcast. I put the camera and I talk 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, because it's what I actually enjoy. So now that we actually made this super, super long introduction towards nothing, and if I don't break my light, it will be way better. Burnout. What is burnout? Well, burnout is for me a consequence of, actually, how can I explain it? It's a consequence when we get super hooked into this monotony of extreme acceleration day to day, which is wake up early, pick up the train, don't miss the combination, make lunch, eat really fast, get into a meeting. At 7, you have 3 classes, you cannot miss, you need to keep training. This constant acceleration that we are on is actually terrifying in a way, because think about it. Without us actually noticing, we start getting into this constant loop of faster and faster and moving faster and moving faster and moving faster that never ends. Actually, this never ends. And the only moment that you realize that is when you are so tired that you cannot do anything. And the only thought that you have in your mind is next day is the same thing. I need to get ready for that. When you have that, you know how burned out you are out of the same thing. It doesn't need to be a bad thing. You can be burned out, but you love what you do. And then it's on a positive note, slightly more positive. Or you can be super burned out because you actually don't love what you're doing and you are stuck and forcing to keep doing it. So it could be both. For me, it was the first one. Okay, I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy my work, but the pressure is getting there. projects are going to an end goal, and you realize how much pressure you have. And then if something wrong or slightly turned over in your personal life goes in, it actually affects even more. Okay? So that's what I was experiencing. And the only thing that literally got my mind out of that was normally it's training, is doing sport, but now sport got to be a responsibility. It was a I have to go to the gym more than I want to go to the gym. What actually allowed me to be a bit more or get me out of that burnout effect was choosing to walk home instead of taking the metro. I was choosing taking 20 minutes walking down the street 10 p.m. in the night because that would actually make me feel satisfied. And the second thing was after I got home, I had to eat whatever I prepared Sunday night for the whole week was sitting here and playing video games. And for a lot of people, playing video games is not the best thing that you should do. A lot of people has told me many, many times that I need to get out to the street and talk to people, that I shouldn't be sitting all day at my room or playing video games because that's not good for you. Well, maybe it's not good for the person that is saying that, but for me it is. Because video games allow me to disconnect of that pressure of being with myself, of enjoying my time, watching a video at the same time, and literally disconnecting, which is all I need. For some people, for you, even you are there, it might be going to the street and meeting with a friend, going having some drinks, I don't know, getting to go to the cinema. But for me, it's actually video games because I grew up playing video games. On in many occasions, I choose to stay playing video games instead of going out because that's what I actually felt that I love more. But why shouldn't be video games for me, for example, be my distraction and my way to avoid burnout? Why is this prefix slash standard idea that people that actually sit down all day long at their PCs, just watch films, play video game, are actually somewhat depressed, are somewhat disconnect from the society? I don't know. It's something that has happened my whole life with family, with roommates, with anyone that I actually had a moment to talk to. If you say that you spend hours playing video games, they actually do you and in a way that is like, you sure that that's the right call? But I'm 24. I'm like, I remember the first time I sat down at at my house with a super old Nintendo with the Sonic game, saying this is amazing. I remember the first time that I played Minecraft on my father's PC. That was the first game I bought during all my life. Getting a laptop or getting somewhat of a console that I could play video games is the only thing that I desire the most. Because I knew that if I had that, there was an opportunity for me to disconnect and keep on doing the normal things that people want. And for me, video games are just that disconnection and nothing more. I actually don't want them to be anything else because if they become another side job, then I will have nothing else. But it's this idea of of I don't know judgment that people has towards gamers that seems that you're some creep guy that doesn't know how to do social life and that I don't know you're shy, you're not very social. And the thing is, I've been playing video games for many years and I'm more social than you can ever imagine. I work for sales. I interact with ton of people. No one has ever told me that I'm shy or that I don't look like what I look. But it's my time to relax. So that is my reflection, and that is the path that I took to avoid burnout. So for those of you listening or not, or whatever you're doing, choose something that you really love and actually don't care about the others' opinion. Because I tried for some time in my life to put aside video games because of what others could think about that and try to be the person they wanted or the person society wants you to be. And I ended up going back to video games. There's always that day when you wake up and you think to yourself, this is not what I want to be. What I want to do actually is play video games as my enjoyed a long time. So do that. I've done it with sport on many occasions as well, like going to the gym or dieting, because at those periods you feel like diet is what helps you most. It's that thing in your life that you choose to enjoy yourself. And I always change and vary. Training changes. Now I'm learning French because I wanted to have a third language. And yes, I don't even know how to speak my main language, which is Spanish, not even English. And I'm trying to go for the third one. Mais c'est la vie, mon ami. But that actually has given me a new perspective of, well, now I can actually start making content in 3 languages and not reject Spanish. And many of the ideas that I've done in the podcast that that came for work, many of those brilliant ideas, those brilliant moments that I experienced came when I got my brain distracted playing video games. They didn't come when I was partying, for example. They came when I was here having fun, real fun, my real fun. Okay, and is this irony in life that people expect us to be just like anyone, and in reality, we never are like everyone else. So this is it actually. There is nothing more to burnout. Burnout happens because we live in this society. Also, it happens because we are stuck on social media 24 hours a day. And I realized that the more I watch shorts, reels, and TikToks, the more I hated them. That's why I also stopped making them because I was super upset with the format and with the content I was making. And then you come to think about that you have to post a new picture because if not, no one will know what you're doing, and you need to follow 10 new more friends, and you need to post 2 more pictures so everyone in your family and your friends knows that you're on vacation. And that is actually stress that you're getting on without actually noticing. Okay, because we don't know how to socialize without social media. And that is actually ridiculous. But I talk about this a lot. Even here, I talk about the polarization effect that social media puts on you and how it's one of the biggest diseases in 2023 and in the future. Okay? But if you are actually even hooked into the loop of TikTok, of your friends, and what everyone is posting, and thinking that you need to do more and you need to post more, then this feeling gets even more accentuated. That the way I actually and the way I actually feel. So be careful. Be careful with how you treat social media. Be careful with what you think is good or not. And always have something in your life when you feel happy, when you can do whatever you want. There is no pressure attached to it. And start building that little corner so you are who you want to be, not who others want you to be. Okay? And I play video games and I started to shape and mold my personality and my speech to say, hey, yes, I play video games, Yes, in a way, I'm some kind of nerd, some kind of freaky that got this wall. Sorry, but I don't like football, just like 99% of people do. I'm a bit different, and maybe we don't share this particular topic, but hey, this doesn't make me better or worse. It just makes me different person with different liking. So do that. If you like singing, if you like dancing, I don't know, if you like doing the weirdest thing in the world, do that. Have fun. And don't give a shit about what others say. Okay? I love playing video games. I play a fucking gacha game called Genshin Impact that you may know. If you tell someone that I do this, they will laugh at me. Of course. I've been playing this game since release, and I haven't dropped it one day because I have so much fun. Because this is my corner of literally doing and laying back. I can literally play this game without thinking. I've been playing this game for 20 minutes while I talk to you, and I'm almost finished. I do my dailies, I waste the energy in game, and then I get out. And I know that this game will always be here, that I can chill out here, and that I can play the game without actually thinking. I can literally come here, disconnect my brain, but know that I'm having fun and I'm doing something different. For me, this is my tool to avoid burnout. It literally could sound crazy, but I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, fair enough. But I'm sure, or I guarantee everyone has this. And if you don't, tell me the secret and please come here to discuss it with me. I'm almost guarantee that everyone has their little space for peace and tranquility. Maybe it's having dinner with your parents. It literally can be anything. I just realized that this is my moment. This is the moment I want to have fun, that I want to relax, and that I don't know. I have a fucking super cool keyboard that I love, and gaming mouses, and I love the environment. It's what I love, and thank God, this has got me out of so many dark places for many years. It is not the first time, neither the last one, that the video game world keep me alive. And this is not something to be sad, not something to be worried, it's something to be happy. Because I found makes me happy, what distracts me, and what allows me to have all the stress in the world without any problem. So, for any of you out there, find your peace, little piece of happiness, of disconnection, and use it to move forward. This has been it. Thank you very much for coming, for listening, and being here. And as always, I'll see you next week.